Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I wanted to take the occasion of April 17th, which is recognized as Palestinians' Prisoners' Day, a day that we pay attention and recall those who have struggled, those who are being held often by Israeli government for all kinds of trumped up charges and offenses, for those under administrative detention, and for the long history of Palestinians that have continued to suffer under the heavy, brutal occupation, continued violence, both physical, mental, as well as transgenerational. And more importantly, that Palestinian prisoners are almost forgotten, especially as we are dealing with the impact of coronavirus, COVID-19. Not only that Israel and Zionism have committed themselves to stealing and robbing the Palestinians of their homelands, of properties, of cutting and disrupting their agricultural harvest, cutting their trees. Settlers are attacking the Palestinians almost non-stop in different places. But also that coronavirus its impact on the Palestinians is completely unattended to. So we want to express, or I want to express my solidarity and really my deep admirations to the Palestinians who are collectively our prisoners of Israeli apartheid, and those in Gaza are in the largest open air prison. But there are individuals that are living inside the dungeons of Israel and the dungeons of Zionism that have built its state on the thievery and the pillaging of Palestinians' homes and lands, and continues to hold Palestinians in jail, closing for them their possibility of being with their families, with their loved ones, closing the possibilities of Palestinians living in and trying to experience their present and future horizons. And in this sense, we want to bring attention, or I want to bring attention to the Palestinian prisoners and their plight today. And we do so also in expressing solidarity with prisoners here in the United States, which holds one of the largest prison population in any of the advanced and industrialized countries. So it's a message of solidarity, it's a message of perseverance, it's a message to the families and children's and those who are having loved ones that are sitting in Israeli dungeons and in the prisons and industrialized prisons of the United States, as well as other places around the world. That the time and the time is appropriate for us to call for opening these prisons gates, for actually unlocking the human potential that's locked up in there, to take the opportunity of the pandemic that is affecting the world over, to actually get these prisoners out, as many might be facing the calamity of not only their imprisonment, but the calamity possibly of being infected with the coronavirus in their prison cells. So we express my admiration and solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Palestine who are living and existing right now in apartheid Israeli prisons for no other reason than demanding their right to freedom, the right to their land, the right to express their aspirations in Palestine as the home of their ancestors and the home of generations of Palestinians all the way back to hundreds, if not thousands, of years. So may these days of difficulties that we are facing in the world will soften the hearts of those who have been intending on locking up the human potential and continue to practice the most brutal way of structured violence on the Palestinians, and also calling for prisoners here in the United States to be released, to be sent back to their homes, to their families, as the pandemic is ravaging our towns and cities near and far. This is the moment for us to call for their release. So free prisoners now, free the prisoners now, free the prisoners now in Palestine, in America, in Europe, and other, as well as in Arab countries that are holding individuals for no other reason than for wanting to express themselves and to have a say in their daily lives and in determining their affairs. The lockup of individuals has to stop. We have to pursue a different way. Also, we need to close. The time is to close the prisons is now, to actually change them and replace them into building hospitals, to transform them into schools, into colleges, into places of beacons of light that could be put together in order for us to change the human condition. So that's what my call is: free the prisoners, transform and close prisons, transform them to hospitals, colleges, and schools, and spend the needed resources to uplift the human family rather than lock it up and lock its potential. So on this day of the prisoners, this is my message to the Palestinians on this day, April 17th, and to comfort you, Palestine will be free. It's not a statement, it's a state of mind. And therefore we will return, we will gather in Palestine, we will gather in Jerusalem, and until then continue to be steadfast, patient as you struggle. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless all of you and to grant you all that which is be granted from God: mercy, blessings, forgiveness, and expression of love toward family and friends as you are dealing with the multiplicities of calamities and challenges today. Assalamu alaikum, and I leave you with peace, and may we gather in Jerusalem at one point to pray in Al-Aqsa and to visit mosques, churches, and places where Palestinians have always linked the divine to the land. Assalamu alaikum.